Hi, Leo. Welcome to your January through June 2024 tarot reading. So, the way that we do this reading is I have one deck of cards where I have all of the major arcana and the four aces, and we get an overlying theme from January through June. And then we go back over each month and clarify with the second deck of tarot and just kind of get some details a little bit deeper into this reading. This is one of those readings that was published early on Patreon before it was published for everybody else. So if you would like to be a part of our Patreon, you can get your astrology for the whole month. And you can also get special readings, mid-month tarot readings, stuff like that. So Leo, for January, we have the Strength card. So really coming into the new year with your energy. Like this really feels like you're coming in with some resilience and sort of some like Leo power. You know, that Leo shine, I guess. We have the Wheel of Fortune in February. We have the Ace of Pentacles for March. April is the sun. So there you are again. Talk about that shine. And we have the Hermit for May. In June, we have the High Priest. This is the Hierophant. Okay, so astrology wise, January is, and I'm going to try and do like a recorded astrology thing for the Patreon members. So for the year. But for, it looks like, so January, we have Pluto ingressing Aquarius for the second time. February, we'll have Chiron conjunct the North Node nearly the entire month. April is eclipse season. May is going to be a very spiritual, may even feel a little confusing and like really quote unquote love and light high vibe. Like people might be kind of delusional, honestly, in May. But you can do a lot with the energy that's happening in May. The people that are going to be delusional in May are going to be the people that don't understand Neptune and Jupiter energy and what to do with it. And they're just going to kind of like be a little bit more chaotic, probably. But I think it's going to feel really great, to be quite honest. So, but it looks like for you guys, there's something that's changing this year for you in a pretty big way. And it has a lot to do with you. Like it just has a lot to do with who you are and your own personal energy. There could be a job change or something that's with work because of the Ace of Pentacles or finances or money or something like that. But I also feel like this is like a spiritual leveling up, which would, I mean, it's not also, it is. Like when you are shining this brightly for yourself and changing things for yourself this much, that is the spiritual journey. Like I've never met anybody who went through a really easy life and didn't get to the depths of who they are at the same time. You know, it's like challenges in life, that's what changes us. That's what makes us have to, you know, question everything. So we have the Strength card in January. And when we question things, that's where we really get to the root of stuff and we learn the truth. So the Strength card isn't just about being strong, it's about resilience. And it's also about taming our demons. That lion, you know, the Strength card usually has an angel like taming a lion in some way, shape, or form on it, on the Strength card. And so oftentimes I just kind of call that like taming our demons. You know, we all have that, we all have the shadow side, right? And so we really have to kind of tame that roar inside of us because, you know, it's great to have that energy, but balance it out with chill. you know? Okay, so we have the King of Cups, we have the King of Wands, and we have the Knight of Cups. Okay, so we have the King of Cups, we have the King of Wands, and we have the Knight of Cups. And I sort of feel like this is an invitation to something. I feel like someone is offering, like bringing an offering to you. So it does. It feels very much like it's an invitation to something. And I feel like it's a really sweet one. And I feel like it's coming after a time. Like, I almost feel like you need it, Leo. I feel like you just kind of need some softness in your life. You need something new. You need something that's going to, like, having the Strength card here makes me feel like you've been pretty resilient for a while. You've had to do some things to become resilient. Okay, so we have the Fool on the King of Cups. Sorry for the glitch. It's my computer. I'm trying to manifest a new one in the new year. But we have the Fool on the King of Cups. So I feel like the King of Cups is a leap of faith for you. I feel like this is like really trusting your gut and trusting that there's this energy that you know is true with it. Then we have Justice on the King of Wands. And so, in this deck with Justice, there's the Wheel of Fortune above her head. So I feel like this new faith beginning that you're having with this person is sort of balancing things out for you. Justice is also about the legal things too. So you may find that there might be something legal that you're having to deal with, and that is where the faith is, but also the Five of Cups on the Knight of Cups. I think that I feel like you're in this transition period where there is something that you are really grieving, but you're also like starting something new all at the same time. And that's almost a normal thing to happen, especially because we're making space when we're grieving. We're making space. We have the Five of Cups on the Knight of Cups. And I also kind of want to say, like I feel like you want to have faith in this person, but also I feel like they might not be showing up for you in the way that you really need them to show up for you. For some of you, this might be that you have to have the courage to get a divorce. I hate to say that word, but for some of you, this might feel like, you have to get up the courage to have divorce, or to have it to get a divorce. And that's the shift, and that's the ending, and that's like you got to have faith on something there, and you have to like have your resilience with that, right? So in February, we have the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is shifting us into a positive, more of a positive perspective, positive movement forward. There's always that kind of like bumpy part of the journey right before that really big positive shift that happens. And I sort of feel like that's what's happening here. There's this thing that you have to detach from. You have to detach from what your ego wants out of life and what you think it's like what you think is yours, or what you think you deserve, or what, it's like sometimes I look at people and I'm like, are my expectations like way too high? Like I'm a Leo Mercury and a Leo Jupiter. Okay. So I have a really big Leo energy in my chart. And sometimes I wonder, like, are my expectations way too high for the world to show up for me in a certain way, or for things to show up for me in a certain way? And so there's this level of detachment. Like, no, I don't think your expectations are too high, Leo. I don't. But at the same time, there are some very real things that a person needs in their life, and they can have standards, right? But you can't attach that to, the way that you want everything to turn out, right? Like, how do I want to put this? I feel like for some of you, this is about a new relationship. For some of you, this is about you wanting a new job. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Page of Cups, which I just showed you. And then we have Saturn here. And Saturn can often be work, right? For others of you, this feels like you just have to detach yourself from a lesson that, like, you know that there is a karmic lesson that you're in the middle of right now. And you know that you have to detach yourself from it no matter how much you want to be in it. You kind of have to detach yourself from it so that you can see things a little bit more clear, right? Let's clarify these things. Yeah. Because the wanting and the desiring and the like, oh my God, I really want this like so bad, you know, that kind of thing. That's what's confusing you, to be quite honest. Knight of Pentacles on the Eight of Cups. Also, detaching yourself from like knowing, like detaching yourself from needing to know the whens, the whys, the hows, the wheres, the whats of this Wheel of Fortune. Things are shifting. That's all you need to know. The details are none of your business. What is your business is focusing on what you need to focus on instead of like always, you know, over like constantly trying to get to the next thing and get to the next thing and get to the next thing. So we have the Seven of Cups on the Page of Cups. So the more you kind of like plead the universe for what it is that you really truly want to have in your life, the more that you're doing that to yourself, I feel like the slower things feel for you. And that's why with this 10 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles on the Devil, like I feel like this shift that you have going on here is literally telling you that the really long journey, that lesson that you've been learning with that really long journey to get to that happily ever after, right? That 10 of Pentacles looks different for everybody. And it might even look different for you now. You know, there may be something that's going, you know, that there may be some things that are the same, but a lot of that 10 of Pentacles has probably changed. And you've probably learned that with this Saturn here. And so allowing yourself to understand that like you are almost at the end of this very heavy journey of getting, you know, to that 10 of Pentacles feeling, that 10 of Pentacles, you know, it doesn't have to be a lifestyle. It really is a feeling. Abundance is a feeling. And that's what the 10 of Pentacles is. And so detaching yourself from what this Wheel of Fortune, like when is the shift going to happen? How, you know, I want all of these things and all of that. Detaching yourself from that, finding a little humility, Leo, just a smidge, you don't have to do too much, can really get you a long, long way. Ace of Pentacles for March. I love your reading, by the way. This is going really well. So the Ace of Pentacles in March can often be like a new monetary thing coming in, or like a new material thing coming in. Could be a new job, could be something. But also sometimes with the Ace of Pentacles, it's a gift of reception. So like you may find that you have to give money out in order to receive something, you know, in return for it. And that may be what this is. But I also feel like there's just a lot of really new stuff happening. And I think that it's kind of rocking your world a little bit, Leo. And I think it's with there's an air sign here. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Queen of Swords. And I feel like you don't really know what to do with this Queen of Swords. And then we have the Tower. So something is going on with the air sign. And I almost want to say that this is, I mean, like this foundation that's being rocked for you is being rebuilt with this Ace of Pentacles. So there's something that you're recognizing, you know, about the air sign. Could be an air sign, could also be a Virgo energy too. But I think that you're just really unsure. You're like, I don't know what to do about this person. And I think that what you need to do about this person is let it go. That's what this feels like. I think that in March, you guys realize that it's really time for you to focus your energies on the things that you need to do for yourself. Ace of Cups on the Knight of Wands, that wishy-washy nature going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. The way that you're going to be able to release that from yourself and to get rid of that kind of tension, that back and forth tension, is to love yourself. That Ace of Cups, like, you have got to fill up your own cup. You have got to see your own power. You know, we're coming into the sun for April, and April is eclipse season. So I think that with eclipse season, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be super duper clear, and you want to be prepared for that. The Death card on the Queen of Swords. This could also be Scorpio energy too. But I feel like this is time for you to say sayonara to this person. There's something that's transitioning with the Queen of Swords. There's something that's happening with the Queen of Swords, or you might be transitioning because of the Queen of Swords. But the Death energy is just a transmutation of energy. It's not necessarily, you know, it's an ending of something. But with endings are always beginnings, and we don't really have beginnings unless we have endings, right? That's the way it's supposed to be. Sometimes people start new things without ending something first, and then it gets all chaotic and discombobulated. But whatever the storm is that comes for you in March, boundary up, Leo, boundary up. There is the Seven of Wands. And allowing yourself, I mean, it's not about having walls, it's about having boundaries, right? So allowing yourself to have these boundaries for yourself. And it's not about putting boundaries on anybody else either. You can, if you want to, you can try to put boundaries on other people, but they don't have to keep boundaries. It's for you. It's like, you know, this is where that willpower comes in. This is where that discipline comes in, right? And the foundation that's crumbling, the reason why it's crumbling is because it's no longer supportive to you. And it can be uncomfortable, absolutely. And that's why that Ace of Cups is there, so that you can take good care of yourself during the crumbling of it. So then we have the Sun for April. April is eclipse season, so things could be closing out. That new moon, that April new moon eclipse, Aries new moon eclipse, Aries, oh, wow, April. But the new moon, Chiron will be conjunct. And I mean, like, there's kind of just this pile up in Aries for April, for that eclipse. And so we have the star, and we have the moon, and we have the Three of Swords. So I feel like it's very clear that this is just part of the journey that you have to be on. I think with the moon, it's funny because we have both of the luminaries here, and it's eclipse season, you know? So I feel like that this is just that month for you to tend to your wounds. And I think that May is also going to be a month for you to kind of tend to your wounds. I think that this sort of feels a little bit like you're isolating yourself on your journey, just so that, you know, you can, how do I want to put this? So that you can open up space, and you can, you know, figure all of that stuff out that's going on the inside, so you can heal the wounds once and for all. That might be a little bit high expectation on yourself, but I almost feel like that's what's necessary. because you don't really know exactly what it is that you want at this point, and you don't really know exactly where you're going. But what you do know is that you are just ready for something different. And that's what you're really kind of searching for. So we have the Four of Swords and the Star. And Saturn isn't opposing your energy anymore. Now that Saturn's in Pisces, it's not opposing your energy anymore. And so you can heal without having that, like, you got to do, you got to do, you got to do. You can heal. And we do have the Four of Swords on the Star, and the Four of Swords there, it makes me, this oftentimes it's like cutting ties with the idea of the way things are, you think the way things are supposed to go, and having a different perspective, and healing and meditating, and getting back to your center. Then we have the King of Wands on the Moon. I really want to just say Leo's going to be eclipsed this month, and the reason is because it's time for you to stitch all of that up. The Two of Wands on the Three of Swords, I think that the hurt and the pain, that's what keeps you questioning yourself. That's what keeps you stopping from trusting yourself. And that's valid. That's totally valid to not trust yourself through, because you're just like, I just keep on hurting myself. Why would I trust myself again with my own feelings? I just keep hurting myself, and I get it. But like it's the keeping everything up in the air that is making this harder on you. It's keeping everything up in the air that makes the suffering harder. Okay, so you got to make that decision. And it's really for yourself, that decision that you're making. It's not for anyone else. So we have the Hermit in May. You could be dealing with a Virgo energy. But also this feels very much isolating. This feels very much like you sort of just want to get together with Source and get some information from Source and get some clarity from Source. And so there is a feeling of a pause for May. So we have the Ace of Swords, and we have the Hanged Man, and we have the Sun. And that's really it. Like, going into hermit mode is going to give you some clarity for May. And I think in a really big way, it's going to give you some clarity. Hermit mode is where we're taking our journey and we just have like a small light. There's not a lot there, right? And we're getting all of our information directly from Source, and we're bringing it back down, and then we're sharing it, all of our insights and our clarity. And the Ace of Swords and the Sun here make me feel like May is going to give you a different perspective of what's going on, an enlightened perspective. And you question, right? Like, you go right ahead and you question Source, and you raise raise those queries to Source. But also you're recognizing who is on your team and who's not, and I think that the vacillating, the going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, I think that you're going to get fed up with doing that, right? Whatever questions you have, pay attention to the signs that are coming to you. Pay attention to the words that are coming to you. Pay attention to your own intuition as well. And the Knight of Wands on the Hanged Man. I think that this pause in your life is really confusing for you, because this is all vacillating here, right? That Knight of Wands back and forth. I'm not even sure what I want, right? Not even sure what I want. And so this is where you have to give yourself boundaries, Leo, and you have to say, I'm going to be disciplined. But the thing is I want you to be disciplined, but not too disciplined. Like, I don't want you to like overextend the disciplinarian ways for yourself, if you will. Don't overextend that, but have boundaries. Willpower. Just say no. Show up for yourself, right? And because you know what you need to do. I feel like with that Sun there, Leo, I feel like it's time, like, you know what you need to do, and I feel like you just don't want to do it. We have the Hierophant in June. You could be dealing with a Taurus. But the Hierophant also represents marriage. It represents societal standards, and it also represents the spiritual journey. And I feel like maybe all of those themes, or maybe one of them, is really weighing heavy on you. So we have the 10 of Wands, we have the 6 of Wands, and we have the Page of Cups. So I think that you're at this part in your journey where you're just like, I just want to get to the other side already. Like I just want to be done with it, and I want to get to the other side. This part's really heavy. And I feel like you want people to recognize you too. Like I think you want a little bit of recognition for what you do. And I think that that's going to happen, but with the Hierophant here, it almost feels like what I want you to do is to not do it for other people, right? You do it for yourself. Oof. You do it for yourself. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Wands. Oh, wow, you guys, you're just in a vacillating kind of way in the beginning of the year, right? You're not even sure what you want. So you know what you need to do in order to end this really heavy journey on yourself. And I think it's just getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And there's a lot of opportunities that the universe is handing to you in order for you to end this journey. We have the High Priestess and the Hermit on the 10 of Wands. Like, you know what you need to do. And you also know I don't know if it is what you need to do with the Pisces or what you need to do with the Virgo. Okay. But you know what you need to do. And I think that it's the reason why you don't want to do it is because of all of the fear and the what ifs and the questions that are none of your business. The details, none of your business. Ace of Cups on the 6 of Wands. Recognize yourself, Leo. For real. Recognize yourself over everybody else. You needing everybody else's recognition. I get it. I understand that too. I think you just want to be recognized for what you contribute. I think you just want to be taken care of too. And then we have the 3 of Cups on the Page of Cups. So this feels like you want to, I almost want to say that you want your soul family. Like there's this desire to reconnect or to connect with your soul family. And I almost want to say, like, give that to yourself. Give that opportunity to connect for yourself. I think that, really opening yourself up to receive the love and receive that connection with other people. The 3 of Cups often for me is like you and I coming together and creating another energy, which is source. So maybe not isolate yourself in June, right? Maybe allow yourself to come together with people that can maybe help you get out of feeling stressed and tensed out. But something is changing for you. There's this spiritual, it's like a leveling up that's happening. And so yeah, real happy for you, Leo. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And take really good care of yourselves. Have a wonderful 2024. I'll see you soon. Bye.